Hi there, I'm Ali from Dragon Fitness Coaching and Healing, and I'm a naturopathic practitioner and I'm a strength conditioning coach. But today I'm just going to be talking about a few different things because I've been away for 2.5 weeks. I got back a couple of weeks ago, so I've been catching up on all sorts of things as happens when you're away. And I thought I'd just give you a few little insights on, as to my travels. So this was the first trip that I took for like 4.5 years, and that's because of all the COVID stuff that happened in Hong Kong. I wasn't able to travel without either being quarantined when I came back, or wasn't able to travel at all, or able to leave or come back into the country because of the old jibja. So it's very interesting as well, and I was a little bit nervous. So one of the reasons that I was a little bit cautious of travelling again, of course, if you haven't been away for a little while, everything's kind of new again, and you kind of get used to being in your own kind of place. But I was also a little bit nervous because I know that all the pilots had I was a little bit concerned because of all the heart conditions that have been happening with those that have taken it. And so I was a little bit nervous because of that, but everything was fine. All the flights were good and on time, and that was great. So we went to the UK. We primarily went to the UK because at this time, because it was my stepdaughter's graduation. So we went down to Cornwall. Now, Cornwall was beautiful, and I've never actually been to Cornwall, but we had lovely walks along the coast, and the hotel that we stayed at was delightful. But it was very rough and ready, and I feel like very economically depressed. There were some people doing Jaeger bombs in Sainsbury's car park at 3 p.m, which was delightful. And when we went to Tesco's once, there were people either drunk or on drugs, or just, I don't know, just feeling really out of sorts. You didn't feel kind of safe. So it wasn't really the glorious kind of seaside town that I kind of expected. But England is beautiful. It absolutely is beautiful. The weather was atrocious. It was high teens most of the time and rained a good proportion of the time. And then we headed down to Kent to see family and friends, which again was really nice because I haven't seen these guys for 5 years, really. And so that was really good, and we stayed in an Airbnb in a lovely rural part of Kent. So that was really, really nice. And it was so nice kind of walking around, seeing the blackberries growing on the hedgerows, and it was actually really nice going for a walk without being really sweaty when you got back, which is what it's like in Hong Kong at the moment. It's just so hot. And then I went to Portugal. So my husband came home and I went to Portugal, and I went to see a friend down there about 150 kilometres north of Lisbon. And I haven't been to Portugal since, about 20, when I went to the Algarve, to Albufeira. And so very different part of Portugal, so central Portugal. It was lovely. It was really nice. It was like being in 1975. So everything was a little bit, it was quite laid back. I'm not going to say the word backward because that makes it sound really awful. It was just kind of relaxed, kind of chilled, and a little bit kind of stuck in a bit of a time warp, but in a nice way. Weren't many cars around, that was good. The Portuguese that I chatted to were very friendly, very lovely, very welcoming, and the expats that I met as well were very nice, and it's also always great to stay with people who live in a place, I think, because you get a real kind of insight into how they live. So that was really, really nice. And then I came to Hong Kong, and I felt like there's a density in Hong Kong. Like, I felt like everything's heavy in Hong Kong, and I feel like Hong Kong runs about 1 million miles an hour. And one thing that I thought that I'm not going to do when I get back is I'm not going to try and do a million different things at once, because that's what I do. I just do one thing and think about the other 5 things I need to do that very minute, and it just stresses me out. And I work for myself, so I've got nobody kind of standing over me telling me how to do things, or what to do. But I decided that I was going to do one thing at a time. And so that's what I've been doing in the last couple of weeks since I've been back, and it's been good so far. I've been succeeding at that. And the other thing that I thought about that I was going to do is just make sure that whatever thoughts are in my head, that they are positive thoughts as far as possible. Always you're going to be sad, angry, upset about something who's annoyed you. And I have shouted at people in road rage while I've been driving around in the last couple of weeks. Don't get me wrong, I'm still human. But I've tried to kind of, if I think that something that's maybe a bit, I don't know, a bit unkind or anything like that, I just try and twist it around. Like, for example, I was on Facebook, I think it was this morning, and I was just randomly looking at things, and I was thinking, oh my God, look at her dress. And I thought, actually, no, she probably loves her dress. It's probably great. I'm kind of trying to adjust my thought processes, because I think that thought processes really do affect your health, your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, like the whole Emoto's water experiments. So that's a little bit of an update on what I've been doing and my journeys, and Hong Kong, really. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you enjoyed my little rambling of what I've been doing recently, and I'll see you soon.